Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are doing something a little bit different.
Little bit.
We aren't just, analyzing a topic from the outside. We're actually going to step inside it. We are talking directly to you.
That's right.
Yes, you listening to this right now.
Yeah, we're focusing on a goal that I think almost every single English learner has, deep down. It's that burning desire to not just understand English, which is, passive, but to speak it.
Right.
And not just speak it, but to speak it fast.
Fast, smooth, confident. You know that feeling I'm talking about? You're in a conversation, maybe with a colleague or a friend. The idea is perfectly formed in your head. It's brilliant. It's funny. You know exactly what you want to convey. But the words, they just feel stuck.
They do.
Or they come out. But it feels like there's this buffering wheel spinning in your brain.
It's the spinning wheel of death.
Exactly. You're pausing. You're searching for vocabulary. You're mentally conjugating verbs. And you just feel like you're slowing the whole conversation down.
You are.
You can see the other person waiting, and that pressure just builds and builds.
It is so incredibly frustrating. It really is. It's that gap between your intelligence, what you know and who you are inside, and your performance.
Your performance, yeah.
What you can actually say in the moment. It almost feels like a betrayal of your own personality.
It does.
And today, we're going to close that gap. This isn't a lecture.
No.
This is a conversation about how to have a conversation.
I love that. And we are going to unpack the secrets of speaking fast. And the biggest secret we found, in the deep dive into the research, it's probably not what you think.
No.
It's not about being a genius. It's not about having some language gene. And it's certainly not about magic.
No magic involved at all. It is about training. It's about mechanics. And the good news is, if you have ever felt stuck or slow, it's not because you lack talent. It's just a phase.
Okay.
It is a very, very normal part of the process that almost everyone goes through.
That is so reassuring to hear. Because I think when you're in the middle of it, you feel like, maybe I'm just bad at this. Maybe my brain just doesn't work that way.
Right. You internalize it.
But what we are going to explore today is that speed comes from something very specific. It comes from familiarity.
Precisely. So our mission today is to break down exactly how you get that familiarity. We're going to look at the barriers stopping you, like that dreaded habit of translating in your head.
Ugh, the worst.
And we're going to give you the practical tools, the actual workouts, to get your speed up.
So buckle up. Whether you are commuting, washing dishes, at the gym, or just relaxing, let's get into it. Let's talk about the science of how to speak English fast.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with definitions. Because I think when we say speak fast, people get the wrong idea.
They really do.
They imagine someone talking at 1,000,000 miles an hour, like an auctioneer.
Right, like going while it's going twice sold. Just this barrage of noise.
Exactly. And that is definitely not the goal.
No, not at all. If you speak so fast that nobody understands you, you aren't communicating. You're just making noise.
Sure.
We need to make a crucial distinction here, one that was highlighted in several of the articles we reviewed, and it's the difference between fast and rushing.
Oh, I like that. Fast versus rushing. It sounds similar, but the feeling is totally different, isn't it?
Totally different.
What is the core difference?
Rushing is frantic. Rushing comes from anxiety. It's when you are trying to push the words out before you lose them or before someone interrupts you.
Right. It feels desperate.
It feels chaotic. Your heart is racing. Your brain is scrambling. But speaking fast, the way we want to define it today is actually about flow.
Flow.
It's about automaticity.
Automaticity. That's a big word, but it's a great concept.
It just means your brain and your mouth are working together without you having to manually control every single step.
Okay.
Think about it this way. The goal isn't to be manic. The goal is to be comfortable.
That makes so much sense. It's the difference between, say, running down a hill because you're falling and gravity is pulling you.
Oh, great analogy.
Versus running because you're an athlete and you're in control. One is a disaster waiting to happen. The other is smooth and powerful.
Exactly. And so many learners think, I need to sound like a native speaker and I need to do it by tomorrow.
Right. This immense pressure.
Immense pressure. But that expectation actually slows you down because it creates that anxiety we were just talking about. The reality is native speakers don't speak fast because their brains are better. They speak fast because their brains are comfortable with the patterns of the language.
They've just been doing it longer. It's muscle memory, which I know we're going to get to later.
It's familiarity. Let's use an analogy that really stood out in the source material. Think about driving a car.
Okay, I'm in the car.
Imagine you are driving in a brand new city. Let's say you're in Tokyo or New York for the first time. You've never been there before. The signs are confusing. Maybe the traffic flows on the other side of the road. The intersections are weird, and you don't know where your exit is. How do you drive?
Slowly. Very, very slowly. I'm gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles are white.
Right.
I'm looking at every single sign. I'm hesitating at every green light just to be sure. The radio is off because I can't handle the distraction.
Right.
I'm 100% focused.
Exactly. You are processing a huge amount of new information. Your cognitive load is maxed out. Every decision turning left, changing lanes requires all of your focus.
All of it.
Now, to compare that to driving home from work on the same route you have taken for 5 years.
Totally different. I'm not even thinking about the road.
No.
I'm listening to a deep dive. I'm thinking about what I want for dinner. I might even arrive home, park the car, and realize I don't remember the drive at all.
You're on
A
autopilot.
complete autopilot. And I'm definitely driving faster.
You drive faster and smoother, not because you're trying to race, but because you know the route. The patterns are familiar. You know that this lane merges here. You know that this light takes a long time. That is exactly what happens with language. When you know the route, when the grammar and vocabulary are familiar, you speak faster naturally.
So the hesitation isn't a physical problem with your mouth. It's that you are mentally driving in a new city.
Yes.
You're looking for street signs.
That is the perfect way to put it. You are looking for the street signs, you are checking the map, and every time you check the map, what do you have to do?
You have to slow down or stop the car?
You have to stop the car. That's the pause.
Wow. Okay. So if the goal is to make the route familiar, we have to look at what is blocking that familiarity. And I think we have to talk about the #1 killer of speed. The thing that just ruins everyone's flow.
The translation cycle.
The dreaded translation cycle. I feel like we need scary music for this. It's the villain of our story today.
It is absolutely the biggest obstacle. Here's what happens in the brain of a learner who is struggling with speed. Someone asks you a question in English. Step 1, you hear the English sounds. Step 2, you translate those sounds into your native language to understand the meaning.
Okay, so now I understand the question, but I'm doing it in my own language. I'm processing it in Spanish or Portuguese or French or whatever.
That's right. Now for step 3, you formulate your answer, but, and this is the critical error, you do it in your native language. You think of the perfect witty response, the smart answer.
In my own language where I'm comfortable.
Where you're fluent.
Yeah.
Then step 4, you have to translate that answer back into English. And this is where it gets messy.
Oh, this is the hard part.
Because the grammar is different, the word order is different. You are literally doing math in your head.
You're trying to solve an equation. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus, wait, is it in the morning or on the morning?
Yes. All those little calculations. And then finally, step 5 is actually speaking.
And that whole process, hearing, translating, thinking, translating back, speaking, I mean, that just takes time.
It takes so much time. Even if you are fast at it, it takes milliseconds that add up to seconds. And those seconds create the silence.
And those seconds are the awkward silence.
Yeah.
That's the pause where you're staring at the other person and they're staring at you and you're sweating.
And it creates massive stress. And the stress makes your brain freeze. It releases cortisol, which actually inhibits your ability to recall words.
No way.
So the translation gets even slower. It is a vicious cycle.
So we have to break the cycle. We have to stop translating. But that feels impossible. How do you just stop translating?
You can't.
It's like telling someone, don't think of a pink elephant. The more you try not to, the more you do.
You can't just flip a switch. It doesn't work that way. You have to change how you input the language. The solution to the translation problem is exposure.
Exposure.
Specifically, a certain kind of listening.
Listening, okay. But everyone listens. We're listening right now. People watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
It helps, for sure, but is it passive or active? To stop translating, you need to flood your brain with enough English that it starts to recognize patterns automatically.
Okay.
When you listen regularly, your brain stops treating English like a code it has to crack, which requires translation, and starts treating it like a melody it recognizes.
So you're saying instead of trying to build sentences from scratch, like using a dictionary and a grammar book in your head,
Right.
you want to just recognize the whole pattern, the whole melody, as you put it.
Exactly. It's the shift from a mathematical, logical approach to a pattern-matching approach.
Right.
Think about the phrase, how are you?
How are you?
Okay. Do you translate that? Do you think, okay, how is the adverb or is the verb to be?
No, of course not. I just hear the sound, how are you, and I know what it means. It's one thing.
Exactly. You bypass the translation center of the brain. You heard English and you understood meaning. You think meaning and you speak English. The middleman, your native language, gets fired.
I love the idea of firing the middleman. He's too expensive. He takes too much time.
He's incredibly inefficient.
He's inefficient. We need to downsize.
We want efficiency.
So listening isn't just about understanding the content. It's actually training your brain to recognize these patterns so you can use them later.
Yes.
It's like downloading the software so you don't have to write the code yourself every single time.
That is a brilliant analogy. If you have the software downloaded, you just click the button.
Hmm?
And that leads us directly to the how. How do native speakers actually construct sentences? Because if you listen closely, really closely, we don't really use individual words.
We don't. I mean, I feel like I'm using words right now. Cat, dog, table.
You are using words, but your brain isn't picking them out one by one from some dictionary list in your head. You're using chunks.
Chunks. Okay, let's unpack this because this was a major part of the research we looked at. What exactly is a chunk?
A chunk is a prefabricated block of language. It's a group of words that almost always go together. Native speakers store these in their brains as if they were a single vocabulary item.
Okay, give me some examples. Let's make this concrete.
Sure, take the phrase. At the end of the day,
Okay.
that is 6 words, at the end of the day. If you are a learner building that from scratch, you have to choose the preposition at. Why not in? Why not on?
Right.
You have to remember the article the. You have to pick the noun end. It's a lot of individual decisions.
It is. In the end of the day.
Oh.
On the finish of the
Oh.
day. It's confusing. There are too many variables.
Exactly. But a native speaker doesn't make 6 decisions. They make 1.
One decision.
They just grab the block from their mental shelf labeled at the end of the day. Boom, done. It comes out as 1 sound unit. At the end of the day.
It's 1 unit of information, not 6. I get it.
Correct. Other examples. You know what I mean?
Oh, all the time.
We say that constantly. We don't think about the grammar of do you know? We just say, you know what I mean? It just flows together.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It
A
depends.
couple weeks ago. Looking forward to it?
It depends.
It depends. These are all chunks. And here's why this matters for speed.
When you speak in chunks, you are making fewer decisions per second.
That is the key. Fewer decisions equals more speed.
Yes. Your brain has less work to do. You are just assembling these large Lego bricks instead of trying to mold every sentence out of raw clay.
I love that visual. If you have the Lego bricks ready, if you have the walls pre-built, you can build the house really fast.
Super fast.
But if you have to make the bricks yourself out of mud and clay, it's going to take forever.
And that is why native speakers sound fast. We are just connecting chunks. To be honest, chunk 1, I'm not sure. Chunk 2, if that makes sense. Chunk 3.
That's all just linking them together.
Yes. So for you listening right now, here is a practical application. When you are listening to this deep dive or watching a movie or listening to the news, try to identify the chunks. Stop listening for individual words. Listen for the groups.
So you treat them as single vocabulary items. Don't learn the word sense and the word make separately. You learn that makes sense.
Yeah. Exactly. Memorize the chunk. It's ready to use. You don't have to conjugate anything. You just grab it and say it.
And you know it's correct because you heard it that way. You don't have to stress about the grammar.
Zero stress. You're borrowing fluency from native speakers.
This actually connects to something else that I found really, really fascinating in our deep dive into this topic. We talk a lot about the brain patterns, translation, chunks. It's all very mental.
It is.
But speaking isn't just a mental act, it's a physical act.
It is intensely physical, and this is something learners often ignore completely.
Why do you think that is?
I think because school focuses on reading and writing. They study with their eyes, reading books, or they listen with their ears, but they forget the mouth.
The mouth is a muscle. Well, a collection of muscles. The tongue, the lips, the jaw, the throat, all of it.
And like any muscle, it relies on muscle memory. Think about a pianist.
Okay.
They don't look at the sheet music and consciously think, okay, now I move my index finger to the C sharp and my thumb goes to the G. Their hands just know where to go.
Right. They've done it 10,000 times.
Exactly. It's automatic. If they had to think about every finger movement, they would play very slowly. It would sound jerky and terrible.
It wouldn't be music.
It wouldn't be music.
Ah.
Speaking is the same. Your tongue needs to know where to go to make the teeth sound or how to transition from an R to an L without you consciously commanding it. It needs to be automatic.
And this explains why silent reading isn't enough. I hear this all the time from people. I can read English perfectly in my head. I understand the grammar, but then I try to speak and I stumble.
Yes.
It's because my mouth hasn't done the workout.
You understand it intellectually, but you don't own it physically. You cannot learn to play basketball just by watching basketball on TV. You have to get on the court and shoot the ball.
You have to feel the weight of it.
You have to feel the movement.
So how do we send our mouths to the gym? What's the bench press for English speaking?
Repetition. It sounds boring, I know, and I know people hate rote learning, but it is the secret weapon for physical fluency. Repeating sentences out loud, not just once, but 10, 20 times.
And I'm guessing this goes back to the chunks, right? We're not just repeating random words.
Yes, absolutely. Pick a common sentence or a useful chunk. I'm looking forward to the meeting. Say it out loud. Feel how your tongue moves from the ing in looking to the f in forward.
Looking forward to? Yeah, it's a specific movement.
Say it again. Say it faster. The more you repeat it, the less effort it requires.
It's like wearing a path in the grass. The first time you walk through a field with tall grass, it's hard. You have to push the grass aside. You might trip. But if you walk the same path every day, the grass gets matted down, the dirt gets packed, and eventually you can run on it.
That is exactly what you're doing to the neural pathways in your brain and the nerves in your mouth.
Yeah.
You are reducing the cognitive load.
Okay.
When the mechanics of speaking are automatic, your brain is free to focus on the message. You can think about what you want to say because how you say it is on autopilot.
I think that's the dream for every learner, to be on autopilot, to just express themselves without battling the language.
It's freedom.
So we've got the theory. Stop translating, use chunks, build muscle memory. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the actual drills? If I have 15 minutes a day, what should I actually do?
There is one technique that stands above the rest for speed. It is called shadowing.
Shadowing. It sounds like a spy technique or something from a ninja movie.
It's a training technique, and it is very specific. It is not just listen and repeat.
Okay, so it's different from what you do in a language class.
Very different.
Right.
In a normal class, the teacher says a sentence, waits for silence, and then you say it. Shadowing is different.
So how does it work?
You listen to a piece of audio, maybe a podcast like this, or a speech, or a scene from a movie, and you repeat what the speaker is saying almost simultaneously.
Well,
You are just a split second behind them. You are their shadow.
so I'm not waiting for the sentence to finish.
No, you are overlapping with them. You are trying to copy their rhythm, their intonation, their speed exactly as they're doing it.
Yeah.
If they shout, you shout. If they whisper, you whisper. If they pause, you pause.
That sounds really hard. It sounds chaotic.
It is challenging at first. Your brain will fight it. But here is why it works so well. Because you have to keep up with the speaker. You don't have time to translate.
Oh, there it is.
You literally cannot translate. It forces your brain into that pattern matching mode we talked about.
It forces the flow. You're riding the wave of their fluency.
Exactly. And it forces your mouth to move at a native speed. It's like dancing with a partner who is really good.
Yeah, okay.
They pull you along and you find yourself moving better than you thought you could.
That is a great comparison. So you're mimicking the music of the language, not just the words.
Exactly. You're picking up the emotion, the stress, the pauses. It improves speed, pronunciation, and intonation all at once.
And you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
With headphones on, no one even has to know. Okay, so shadowing is a great workout.
Yeah.
But what if I'm alone and I don't have audio handy? Or what if I want to create my own sentences?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel weird talking to themselves.
You have to get over that feeling. You have to embrace the weirdness.
Lean into it.
You have to. Solo practice is incredibly powerful because it is a safe space. There is no judgment. No one is laughing at your mistakes.
It's the ultimate low-stakes environment. You can crash the car and no one gets hurt.
Correct. So here's a strategy. Narrate your life. Be the narrator of your own documentary.
I love that.
When you are making coffee, say out loud, I'm making coffee. I need a spoon. Where is the sugar? Ah, here it is.
I'm opening the fridge. I'm looking for the milk. Oh no, we are out of milk.
It sounds silly, but think about what you are doing. You are connecting the physical action with the English words. You are training your brain to produce English in real time, triggered by your environment.
And you're bypassing translation because you're looking at the object and naming it directly. You're not thinking leet and then milk.
Yes. You can also talk about your plans. Today, I need to go to the bank and then I'm going to meet Sarah. Or explain what you're thinking. I'm feeling a bit tired today because I stayed up late watching a movie.
It's like being the main character in your own movie.
Yes. And the goal is to get used to the sound of your own voice speaking English. Many people freeze up in conversations because they are surprised by how they sound.
Oh, that's a good point.
They think, who is this person? That doesn't sound like me.
That is so true. Your voice changes in another language. It might be higher or lower. The pitch is different.
If you talk to yourself all day, you get used to it. You normalize it. You train the brain to produce without fear.
And that word fear, that brings us to the next big topic. We've talked about the mechanics, but we have to talk about the psychology.
Absolutely.
Because you can know all the words, you can have great muscle memory, but if you panic, game over.
The anxiety loop. It is a real physical reaction.
Tell us about the anxiety loop. I think everyone listening has felt this.
When you are nervous, maybe you're speaking to a native speaker or in a meeting or an interview, your body goes into fight or flight mode. Your muscles tense up, your breathing gets shallow, and your brain, it tunnels.
It tunnels. What do you mean?
You lose access to the creative part of your brain, the part that finds words easily. Instead, you start overthinking grammar. You become hyper-aware of every mistake.
You're just judging yourself in real time.
Constantly. You think, did I use the right preposition? Is my accent okay? Do I sound stupid?
And while you're thinking all that, you aren't speaking.
Exactly. The more you overthink, the slower you get. The
Right.
slower you get, the more nervous you feel because of the silence.
Right.
The more nervous you feel, the more you overthink. That is the loop.
It paralyzes you.
Yeah.
So how do we break the anxiety loop? How do we stop the panic?
We have to reframe what fluency means. A lot of anxiety comes from perfectionism. We think, if I pause, I'm failing. If I make a mistake, I'm failing.
Right. We want to be perfect robots. We want to sound like a scripted movie character.
But listen to native speakers. Listen to us right now. We pause.
We do.
We stumble. We say, we rephrase things.
We definitely do. I just did it a minute ago. I couldn't find the word.
And that is normal. Fluency is not about never stopping. It is about staying calm when you stop.
That is such a powerful distinction. It's okay to pause. The problem isn't the pause itself. It's the panic during the pause.
Precisely. If you pause and think, oh no, I'm stupid, I forgot the word, you spiral. But if you pause and think, just a second, let me find the word, and you stay relaxed, the conversation continues.
Right.
Relaxation aids fluency more than perfection does.
So just take a breath. It's not a race.
It's not a race, and actually taking a pause can make you sound more confident.
How so?
It shows you are in control. You are taking your time to think. It's a power move, in a way.
I love that. Owning the silence. I'm not confused. I'm just thinking deeply.
Exactly.
Now, there is another psychological trap that I think slows people down, and that is the desire to sound fancy.
Ah, yes. The academic trap. I've seen this 1,000 times.
We want to sound smart. We want to use the big words we learned in the textbook. We want to use nevertheless, and furthermore, and extrapolate, and juxtaposition.
All those beautiful $10 words.
Yeah. But when you try to use complicated vocabulary that you aren't 100% comfortable with, what happens?
You slow down.
You slow way down.
You have to search for the word in the dusty corners of your brain. You have to check the grammar.
And you probably misuse it anyway, which makes it harder for the other person to understand you.
Often, yes. If you want to speak fast, you need to simplify. This is counterintuitive, but simple is fast.
Simple is fast. That should be a bumper sticker.
It really should. Look at how politicians or great public speakers talk. Steve Jobs, for example. They often use very simple sentence structures. Subject, verb, object. Short sentences.
Punchy? Clear.
They aren't trying to win a poetry contest. They are trying to communicate a message.
And that's the goal. Communication.
Exactly. Clear communication is more valuable than impressive, obscure words. If you stick to the simple vocabulary that you know deeply, the stuff that is already automatic for you, you will speak faster.
Cool.
You will be more confident. And ironically, you will sound better. You will sound more fluent because you have flow.
Because you aren't stumbling over syllables.
And here is the secret. Once you are comfortable speaking simply and quickly, then you can start adding the complex words back in, one by one.
Okay.
But you build the speed on the foundation of simplicity.
Build the house, then add the decorations. Don't try to hold up the roof with a chandelier.
That is a fantastic metaphor. Yes, don't start with the chandelier, start with the bricks.
So we've covered a lot. We've redefined fast versus rushing. We've fired the translator in our heads. We're using chunks like Lego bricks. We're hitting the gym with shadowing and solo practice. We're chilling out and embracing the pause. And we're keeping it simple.
It sounds like a complete package. It's a whole new mindset.
It does. But I think there is one final thing we need to address. The timeline.
Ah.
Because I know you, listening right now, you're motivated, you're excited, you're going to try these things. But maybe in a week, you'll feel like, I'm not fast yet. Why isn't it working?
And that is the danger zone. We have to manage expectations. This transition from thinking to automaticity does not happen overnight.
It's not a download, it's a growth process. You can't just install English 2.0.
It is biological. You are physically changing your brain structure and your muscle memory. That takes time. There is no magic trick. There is no shortcut.
I think we live in a world where we want instant results. Get abs in 5 minutes. Learn fluent Spanish in 10 days.
It's all marketing nonsense. Speaking fast is the result of consistent exposure, consistent practice, and patience.
And patience is the hardest part.
It is, but here's the promise. Over time, something changes. You won't notice it day by day.
No.
It's like watching your hair grow. You don't see it growing. But one day, you look in the mirror and it's different.
And one day, you will be in a conversation and you will realize, wait a minute, I didn't translate that. I just said it.
That aha moment. It is the best feeling in the world when the words just come out.
The words will come faster. Your brain will stop searching. You will respond naturally. It happens. But you have to trust the process.
And you have to avoid the comparison trap.
Oh, absolutely. That is toxic.
Do not compare your speed to others. Do not compare yourself to the native speaker or the person who has lived in the US for 20 years or the influencer on Instagram who claims to speak 15 languages.
Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has a different starting point, different amounts of time to study.
Focus on your improvement. Are you faster than you were last month? That is the only metric that matters.
That's a great point.
Focus on your own progress, not on competition.
So let's wrap this up. If you take one thing away from this deep dive, what should it be?
I think it should be that speaking fast is not about rushing. It's about flow. It's about feeling comfortable enough that the language moves through you without resistance.
And that comfort comes from practice. It's earned.
Keep listening. Flood your brain with patterns. Keep speaking, even if it's just to yourself in the shower. Keep repeating those chunks until they are automatic.
Little by little, your speed will grow. It really will. And one day, you will notice that conversations feel lighter, easier, faster.
Not because you forced it, but because you trained for it.
I love that. Not because you forced it, but because you trained for it. That is our takeaway for today.
Go out there and train.
Thank you so much for listening to this deep dive. We really hope this conversation helps you on your journey to speaking English confidently and quickly.
We really do.
If you found this helpful, please give us a like, leave a comment, maybe tell us what your favorite chunk is, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes, please do.
It really helps us create more content like this for you.
Yes, subscribing makes a huge difference. Go practice, have fun with it, and we will see you in the next deep dive.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.